Apparently, this coffee is called Irish Cream. Well, it's not really creamy; it's just black, like how I'm feeling right now. Hi to anyone who's watching this in the internet. You're watching a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays tabletop role-playing games online. You'll find them at Gauntlet RPG, where you'll find all the stuff they do, like blogs, forums, the podcast network that they have. Lots of cool podcasts from like discussion stuff, interview stuff, to even some actual plays. There's also the Codex, which is their monthly zine that contains, supplements to existing games and more often than not existing games in itself. And of course, the big thing to mention that's coming up this month is Gauntlet Con, which is a online convention. Yes, that is a thing. And so like hundreds of different games over from the 24th to the 27th of October. Lots of games and guests and interviews, panels. I believe some of the folks here on this call are be running some games. And the lead up, I'm just gonna shout out random games that people can still jump in. Let's see. And I say this even though I didn't have anything prepared. That's very great of me. So, okay, here's one. The one I want to shout out is it on the Gauntlet Con calendar. There'll be a link down below. It's called The Exorcist Limbo, specifically the Saturday version. It's still open. Saturday, October 26th. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Irish Standard Time. I live in Ireland. I'm not saying no offense to the folks living on the other side of the Irish Channel on this call, but I'm just calling it Irish Standard Time. So The Exorcist is run by Mad J, one of the guests for GauntletCon. It's basically a reskin of Apocalypse World using the burnt over hack book, but set in the X-Men universe. Basically, you're going to be the New Mutants going into Inferno to save Colossus's little sister from hell. So that looks really cool. There's a Friday session. It's full up. Check out the Saturday version. There's still seats available. Check that out. There'll be a link down below as well. Anyway, enough plugs. The last thing I'll plug is the Hangouts calendar, where all the regular games through the Gauntlet are arranged. This game is session, and I had to look this up. I think this is session 6 of our run through to Masks: A New Generation by Brendan Conway, published by Magpie Games. Powered by the Apocalypse, superhero teenage hijinks, specifically teenage superhero hijinks, where, people trying to figure themselves out amidst having to punch people who may or may not deserve it. It's all fun. We're using the we're using the Phoenix Academy playset by Chris Weiland. It's basically superhero schools. We're knee deep into this quarterly, 5 sessions in. Big picture thing is there has been a student council election. There's going to be a big masquerade dance in the future. Oh yes, and we're not really in Phoenix Academy, which is the most prestigious superhero school in the world. We are in Prospect Academy, the 11th best superhero school in the world. It's really good. Apparently it's got goose students from a dark future. Apparently, I think there's a clique of ghosts. There apparently may be some reincarnated Greek gods who are the Drama Society. The science teacher is also from another horrible future, but they're now a science teacher. They're also a robot. The headmaster is a demon. And not to say of our cast and our characters, our players who's going to be here. So let's go through them quickly. Go by the order of the character keeper from left to right. Ryan's not here to be first this time. Unfortunately, it has to be you, Sabine. So you kind of introduce yourself, your character, and the cool thing about them.
Hey, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns, and despite having been in the Gauntlet for a while now, this is the first time I get to go first to introduce myself and my character, which means that everybody else has to wait for me now. No, but I won't abuse that privilege. I will tell you about my character, which is Serenade, the Serenade of Thorns. They used to use the playbook of the weapon. Now they are the transformed. They are carrying an alien implant, which has been with them since they were since after a few days after they were born. But recently they learned to integrate a little more with the implant, and now they look a bit weird with metallic patches of skin and stuff like that, and maybe a little fiber optic cables in their hair. But well, yeah, that's just the Serenade. They are not very used to American teen culture because they come from the Himalaya, but they're learning, I guess. They'll be fine. Probably.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they've been fine so far. They've stood up to some mean people, beaten up a dragon. Now has a cult of Naruto runners, kind of not after them, but interested in them. We'll see. Play to find out. All right, up next, Ludo, tell us about yourself, your character, and a cool thing about them, which I've mentioned every time is almost impossible because they're impossibly cool.
Yeah, I'm playing Kasey Dread that operates under the code names of Regicide and the secret identity of the Errant. They are a clone of the Dread Queen, and the coolest thing that they've been done is after they took the mantle of the Errant to distance themselves, after discovering that their mother was not, someone that was forced to make impossible decisions from a young age, with which they had a complicated relationship of anonymity and respect. They realized that the horrible things that her mother did to the people to which you will expect her to be the most kind, and they have completely write her off from her life, removing her influence from her forever.
Good luck with that. Not on Aaron's shoulders. And up next, I said character keeper, so we're gonna stick to that. So up next, returning for this session, but we'll definitely see them more in the future. Gerwin, tell us about yourself. And okay, I'll let you talk about your character.
My name's Gerwin. I use he/him, and I'm playing Princess Hollyhock, who's using the Outsider playbook. Princess Hollyhock is the former imaginary friend of someone in Prospect Academy, who, when the imaginary friend stopped visiting them in their dreams, rode a clockwork dragon to the real world to actually try and find them. That may not have gone very well for me, and we'll find out more about that later today. But she is a fey creature. Well, sorry, they are a fey creature, a shapeshifter, that does things which don't necessarily follow the normal rules of causality and normal rules of physics. Physics are more guidelines rather than what she actually has to abide by most of the time.
God, they are a lot. They are quite something. And last but not the least, David, tell us about yourself and your character, who we're meeting for the first time in this series. Not the first time ever, but first time as a player character in this series for sure.
Hi, yeah, I'm David. I use he/him pronouns, and I am playing Haruki Goto, or Zero G. Zero G is in the Reformed playbook, so as those of you familiar with Masks may know, that means that he used to be a villain before he before he had a crush on a good man, and decided to switch to the heroic side of things. So before coming to Prospect Academy, he was I suppose a petty super criminal is I guess the best term for it. He was he has the ability to control gravity, and used this ability to perform various heists and general shenanigans on the streets. But yes, he is now has now joined Prospect Academy under the kind of villain rehabilitation program.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're doing absolutely well. Also, I want to correct myself with that plug I made. Oh, by the way, I'm Leandro. You see pronouns. I want to correct my plug I made. The Exorcist session is not about saving Colossus' little sister. It's about her coming back to Limbo since she used to rule that place, and then she left. And now Limbo is all, corruption, coups, and whatnot. And she's coming back with some friends to try and take over again. There we go. It's a bit cooler than having to save someone, I guess. Just to correct myself. All right. So before we properly start, let's talk about safety tools. Get them on the table. First, we have lines and veils. Lines are things that won't be crossed, won't show up in the fiction at all. Remind my players here to recheck those. And if you've thought of anything new, make sure to add them. It's a living document, so you can add on new lines or veils as they come to you if you don't have any right now. We're also using the X card. Basically, if we do roll into a scene where folks feel comfortable for any reason, and any reason is completely fine. No one's allowed to question if you have to use the X card. You can say you want to X card something either on the chat or you want to make a symbol on the video to like make the use of it known, or on the roll for your party. I might ask some questions what's being X carded, but no one gets questioned if it's used. If it's used, we'll roll back and try something else. Finally, we have an open door policy. If you do feel the need to like step away from the table for any reason, like whether there's an emergency or you're more tired of the thought, you need to step away, or you just need to go for like 5 minutes at any time, we'll pause the game and we'll let you go off in your merry way. All right, so back to Prospect Academy. Jesus Christ. Just like as a quick rundown of all the different plot points that are bubbling about. The aforementioned Serenade of Thorns has a weird club called the Shadows of Justice. We're kind of interested in them, and they've expressed their interest by throwing knives at them. That's something Sabine wanted to follow up. Errant has discovered that the magic dread knight that apparently her mother sent her actually came of their own accord and is a sister of theirs or fellow clone, and is apparently dying. And also they've taken up Errant has taken up some superhero justice of her own. We'll roll to see how that's going along. There is a Silver Masquerade coming up, the big dance, and so far the most people heard about is that Diamond Dust, the student council president, is insisting that it's very important for everyone to attend. Speaking of which, the aforementioned student council president, who when we first saw Princess Hollyhock, Diamond Dust was turned into a dragon, is seemingly normal for whatever. Yes, turned into a dragon. For anyone jumping into session 5, yes. A dragon was made.
I'd like to say it made sense at the time, but no, it didn't.
Yeah. Also, I should mention. Not fellow sister, fellow sibling. Actually, for stalwart, they use they them pronouns. I forget how the dragon thing happened. But Diamond Dust has asked Serenade to pass on a message that she wants to talk to Princess Hollyhock. Zero G has made friends with Screech and is busy with schoolwork and is about to kind of like talk to Mary. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do I'm gonna ask for like a scene for each person, then we're gonna do like time pass again. We're playing kind of loosey goosey with time, because I do want more of the schoolwork stuff and the rumor stuff and all these time passing mechanics to like fire off. So we're not gonna go linearly like, okay, this session is this day and the next session is the next day. Things are kind of jump in and out. That's okay with folks. So So the main thing we probably need to do is this scene with Zero G, but I do want to know what folks want to see today, like before we like get things going. And I'll go by the order of the character keeper again. Sabine, you're back up. What do you want to see?
Oh wow, what I want to see, huh? I don't know. I want to talk to Princess Hollyhock if I can find her, because I want to warn her that Diamond Dust might have hard feelings.
Cool. We can do that. We can probably do that before like we fire off some of these time passes. Maybe it's around after you talk to Mary, because that's who you talked to last session, right? Yes. All right. Ludo, what do you want to see today? Besides failing some specific roles, apparently.
Yeah, I kind of want to test the ability to holding the errant identity, and I want to have a few more intimate moments with characters.
Cool. I'm down for that. We have spent a lot of time with 3 people jawing over in the cafeteria about school bullshit. Not that school budget wasn't the most important thing in the world as a teenager, because they kind of was as a teenager. Totally don't miss those times. Gerwin, what do you want to see this session?
Well, Princess Hollyhock isn't a superhero. She isn't a superhero. She is what she is. They are what they are. So I think she needs to develop a superhero persona.
Okay, all right. I think I know what class to fling at this right there. Because everyone got to do the class role test thing, and I think we're gonna do that for Princess Hollyhock today, if that's okay. Cool. And finally, David, what do you want to see today?
Yeah, I think kind of what I mentioned in the wishes from last time. Really, I mean, obviously, looking forward to seeing how this thing goes with the. Well, fake Mary may not be the right term for it, but the Mary I'm speaking to. Then said we cool to catch up with some of my criminal contacts. But other than that, I'm just looking forward to running scenes of everyone else. Really
nice. Cool. One last thing. Let's sort out influence pick, since we got two characters who have interacting, and I believe, if I double check,
Zero G gains influence over Hollyhock
because they're excited to be there.
Yeah.
And I think the question for the reform was, do you talk openly about your days as a villain? And you said yes to that, right, David? All right, Zero G. As in, you talk openly.
No, I think I chose. I think I chose no for that one. So I think I only gave influence to Serenade.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that clears things up. Okay, cool. So we'll run through like 3 scenes, and then we'll do time passes, and I'll make Princess Hollyhock take a test. It'll be fine. Don't worry. So let's pick up where we left off last session, which is, again, Zero G working hard on the Dickens essay that we know that he's going to fail miserably at, and there's still consequences for that, because that was a miss. And yeah, you heard like someone on the desk, on your desk, and you heard Mary's voice go, "Do you mind if I join you?"
Hey, Mary, wasn't it? Knock yourself out.
Cool. And I think Mary, they sit down next to you, and so like, what are you working on?
Oh, Tale of Two Cities for Magenta in English class.
Is Magenta doing that thing again, where she's like assuming that like teenagers care about these old dusty literary classics or something?
Yeah, more or less.
I still up to her old tricks. How are you doing so far?
Okay, I think I'm just not used to, well, all this really.
Really? What are you used to then? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm used to being, a bit more proactive, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like reading a good book, but I don't usually have to write a report on it.
Yeah, I think Mary kind of like is wistfully kind of looking around. They look like you met Mary, and there's a. I'll tell you right now because you're probably smart. You probably realize that this one's kind of egging it on a bit much. Yeah, I mean, there's really no point in doing reports like this, right? Like, I don't know. I shouldn't assume. You're probably used to just reading a book, just moving on, right?
Right, though I got the impression with the student president election and all that you were, like Miss Goody Two Shoes or something.
Yeah, I was a bit of a pansy, wasn't I? I mean, what do you think? How do you think I did? Just be honest.
I mean, if I'm really honest, I honestly didn't pay any attention. Sorry about that, but not really my thing.
That's fair. Well, Diamond Dust was a good foe, but if honestly looking back, what I would have done is well, I'd ask how you think I should have done, but like you said, you don't care. I shouldn't assume.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say as I don't care, but yeah, I didn't pay much attention.
Fair enough. I mean, to be honest, I don't really think I really did a good job. I was, like you said, a goody two shoes, wasn't I? Wasn't firm on the details, just wasn't decisive enough. All that glitter, the roller derby rink, and promises. What the hell was I doing, right?
I don't know. I mean, a little bit of glitter from time to time doesn't hurt anyone, but
it doesn't really get the job done, doesn't it? You strike me as someone who knows what someone needs to do to get the job done.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Say, Haruki, right? Oh, hold on, let me double check because the problem is Haruki Goto is close to a Japanese wrestler I kind of like named Hiroki Goto, so I two names in my head. Haruki, what if one would say one needs a job done? Are you like the right Are you the right person that I'm asking?
I certainly used to be. I'm, how these things are. I'm trying to, do this whole thing. But I guess it depends what you're looking for.
I think, are you looking at Mary?
Yes, yeah.
I think Mary gives you a smile, and you see their eyes. They have this I need to ask Ryan what the color of their eyes are, but it's you can see they slowly turn black, like pure black. Those eyes, and they lean forward, and they start speaking in a voice that you're a bit more familiar with. And says, well, Haruki, I want to make sure that I'm going down the right path. After all, that's what school's for. But I think you can tell this school is kind of shit at doing that. So I'm gonna need to prod people along. And, well, you've always been very good at getting people to do what you want. It's kind of what I liked about you.
Damn it. I knew it was too much to think I could get away with getting off the grid here.
Honestly, if you couldn't have picked a worse place for me to find you. You should look up 1980. Insert whatever year Mary was in high school. You should look up those years. That year, and you'll see stamped throughout that year in this small, silly, pestilential school. You'll see me all over the place. Anyway, I think Silhouette pats you on your hand, on the shoulder. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I've been, well, what I said was true. I've been off the streets a little bit.
Oh, that's honestly quite adorable. Here you're trying to do that sort of thing. I think their voice has gone back to our Mary, but the eyes are still pure black. It's really cute that you're trying to do this hero thing.
So, Silhouette, what do you want? What are you here for?
Well, I'm sure you've met my darling younger self. And you're quite right. She is a goody two-shoes, isn't she? I mean, could you even tell that one day that little pansy would become someone like me? No, you can't really, can you?
Well, I guess not.
And I've been trying my best. This has been an enormous distraction, knowing that she's here and knowing she won't lead to me. I have better things to be doing than going back to this school, Haruki. So let's get this done, and I can be off doing far more interesting things. I don't have anything for you yet, Haruki, but I'll probably come calling soon. In the meantime, just, I guess, enjoy life for now.
Did she really bother you that much?
Is this like a piercing mask? Oh, go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
think so, yeah.
Wait, go ahead. You were going to say something.
I'll say, I know it. I know you're not easily rattled.
Okay, there's a time to pierce the mask. You have mundane 1.
That's a 5.
Ooh. Okay. I think when you say that, I think they smile just a bit too widely for a human being to smile. They do this a lot. They do this kind of seldom, only when they know that you really can't do anything against them, and say like, Oh, Haruki. Let's be honest. When you really think this is the time I'm gonna let you in? I think they pat you again. They pat you on your hand this time, and they say like, "You are someone. Well, you seem to be someone trying their best, but it's never gonna be easy to run away from all that." And I think what I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna treat that fail as if you failed to reject influence. I'm gonna shift your labels,
Sure thing.
if that's all right.
That's cool. Yep.
Because I was gonna do that anyway, but you failed the roll there. So I'm shifting your danger up and your savior down. And I think, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think so. I think that he's just going to turn back to his work. I think, though clearly does look slightly perturbed by the interaction.
Yeah, I think they pat you and had one more time and just say like, "Enjoy your Dickens. I'll see you later," and they walk off. Okay, so Serenade. Oh, sorry. Is there anything else? Sorry. What was it? Oh yeah, Serenade. You were off looking for Princess Hollyhock.
Yeah, I did. Because I want to warn her, I guess, and see how she's doing, really. And talk to her.
Are you going to a room or you?
Yeah, I guess I look at the playground first to see if she's
Okay.
there.
She's not really been out and been seen much the last few days.
Okay.
It's very much not like her. She normally likes to be out amongst around people, and people have been hearing strange noises from her room.
Oh, nice. Oh, that can only be good. So I'm going to look at Princess Hollyhock. You weren't there last time, but I think once you see Serenade, you will notice that they have really changed a bit because of the reintegration or integration with the implant. That there is a lot more machiney look to them.
Okay. You come to a room. The door's not locked. You come in. Imagine the sort of room that every 13-year-old girl ever wanted.
Oh, no, that's not a good idea because every 13-year-old girl didn't want the same thing.
Okay. Point taken. Imagine the sort of room that every TV show that actually says this is what every 13-year-old girl wants.
So
Imagine
that. Pink. It's all pink and
it's
soft
all pink and there's
unicorny.
There's ghosts hanging over the bed. There's posters up everywhere. There's drawings, magical creatures all over the place, and sketches everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And as you walk in, you find Hollyhock is sitting in the middle of a pile of fabric and pile of material in front of a tailor's dummy, and it looks like she's trying to put together a costume.
Oh,
but it's hugely impractical.
I wouldn't have expected anything less.
It looks like the sort of thing you get in a fantasy drama. Not just a fantasy drama, but a Chinese or Korean fantasy drama, rather than necessarily modern things. It's all brocade and yes. Long sleeves and as you come in, she's there and she's got pins in her mouth and she's pinning bits of fabric on.
Well, I will have knocked. So
come in.
Excuse me, Princess Hollyhock. Can we talk?
It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. And she'll stand in front of it and.
I will not look at it if you don't want me to.
Oh, yeah. She stops and looks at you. You've been doing it as well. Oh,
I have not been preparing for the masquerade or anything.
no. You. And she'll drop the pins, she'll drop the fabric, and she'll run over and she'll look at your changes. You've been working on costume as well.
This is
brilliant. And she'll tap the metal parts and.
This is not a costume. This is part of me.
Yes.
But my understanding is that if you wear a costume that is to intentionally wear something you would normally not do.
You play dress up? Yes.
Well, this is not dress up. This is me.
Is it?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm becoming something.
Good. I could use some help. Come in, and she'll usher you in and close. Stick her head out the door, look around, close it.
I wanted actually to talk to you. I know it's hard for you to talk on the same level as me, or for me to talk on the same level as you. But I wanted to warn you that Diamond I do not think she likes you.
And her face freezes. Yes, I know. She's forgotten me.
No, she has not. I assure you, she has not.
No, she has.
She asked me questions about you and told me to tell you if you wanted to apologize to her, you could come or something like that. But I told her that neither was I her messenger, nor would I attempt to push you closer to her, because I do not believe she means you well.
I don't want to talk to her.
Be careful.
Not yet. She doesn't remember me.
From before the whole dragon shenanigans.
Oh, yeah. I said she was a dragon, and she was. I used to ride her, and we used to fly together, and she doesn't remember me.
So okay. And she is supposed to.
I'm here looking for someone, and they don't remember me.
Well, if it helps, I think after the whole dragon thing, the whole school will remember you.
But not in a good way.
Well, what can I say? But look, I don't mean to drag you down or anything. I just wanted to give you a warning and to tell you that if you need help, I'm willing to do that.
For me?
Yes.
Oh.
I did not shout at you because I don't like you. I did shout at you because I do. And because I was angry at myself. And yeah,
sorry,
what?
This sounds like a comforter support.
Yes. Okay. I will try to do that. Yeah, that's usually with mundane, but I have a look. Oh, yes, I will tell you now. I mean, you are so connected to what people feel and dream, and I cannot understand that. And I think I would like you to help me there in return a bit. And now I will roll comfort and support because I can now roll it with freak instead of thingy mundane, which I'm not good at.
You have influence over Hollyhock, which everyone has, so add a +1.
Ooh. Oh wow! I could have done this with mundane. Truly, I'm really into this. I rolled a 12.
Wow! So on a hit, they hear you. Princess Hollyhock, you can mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if they open up to you, which you probably will. And on a 10+, Serenade can add a team to the pool or clear condition yourself.
I don't have a condition, and we need team in our pool. Yay!
I'm going to clear guilty if people are okay with that.
Ooh, oh, I should have mentioned, since there's a time skip, I should have told you the condition should have gone, because it's been a week since the council election, so I should have mentioned at the start.
Okay.
You can hear that, so you can.
In which case, I'll mark potential.
Hell yeah.
I'll reach out to take Serenade's hand, then I'll remember that Serenade doesn't like to be touched, and stop. I can help, but I need your help.
You'll have it.
I want to be a hero.
You're asking me.
I don't know how to be. I only know what people dream of as heroes. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing. I'll step out from in front of the costume. I am what I am. I have no idea how things work here. I have absolutely no idea. When I fought the ogre of Firetop Mountain, I lost, and then everyone got up afterwards. That's not how it works here.
No, when you lose, some people don't want you to get up.
I want to be a hero. I want to. Maybe then she'll respect me.
Oh, wow. Phew. Let me be honest here. If you're talking about Diamond Dust, she probably would want you to be a villain. But I will not help you with that.
Do you think?
I talked to her, and she is not a good person. But I have learned something. From Mary, I think. I think maybe being a hero, you can inspire her to be a better person. I mean, I have no idea if that is how it works.
Oh, that's definitely how it works. Inspiration is what I do. I am inspiration. I'm not amused, but I'm a spinner of tales.
Yes, but the tale she wants to have spun is that she is the most important person in the world. That she's the best. And that is not a good tale, I think. No. I don't. I think it's not a good tale.
Then what do I do?
We maybe should talk to people who have more of an idea about what normal people are. We should talk to Zero G. He's, I think, a more normal person than I am. Because I have no idea how to be a hero. The last time they called me a hero, I punched an alien, but I don't know.
Did you save people?
Maybe?
Then you're a hero.
Okay, I guess. I don't feel like a hero. I was trying to be an assassin.
Tell me one thing that heroes do, and I will do it.
Yeah, you just said it, save people.
Done.
Let's not put people in danger just so we can save them.
No. I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't.
Okay. I
She
wasn't sure.
pulls down a piece of paper she had on the wall. No. I had no plan to do that at all. No plan to do that at all. Crumbles up the paper, throws it in the bin. No. And I'd like to use one of my team moves if I could, please.
I was gonna bring that up because it sounds like you're angling towards one of your team moves, the vulnerable one, right?
That's right. Yes.
So when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, they tell you what you do to fit in more. I think Serenade has totally done that. So you're gonna take +1/+4 to do it and mark potential if you do. I think the concrete goal is save people is kind of a big generic one. I think the main one is inspire change in Diamond Dust.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a tall order, but I believe in our princess. The one noble figure I'll believe in.
Yes, I guess.
One last thing. If I'm going to
Yes.
be a hero, I need a name.
Oh, yeah. You have, isn't Princess Hollyhock your name?
Oh, it is, yes, but it's not my hero name.
Oh,
That's
you
my
need a hero
name. That's my name.
Okay.
What do you think I should call myself?
If I had any idea what to call people, I wouldn't be still Serenade of Thorns.
Do you want me to give you a name?
No, please don't. Sulit gave me a name and I hated it. I will find a name once I have finished finding out who I am. I will find a name, but not before, I guess. I'm terrible with names. But we have other friends. They might be better suited to giving people names.
Okay, Ockham, let's go. Let's go find Zero G.
Yes, okay. Cool. We're off to see the wizard. The wizard, wonderful wizard of Zero G.
Should we take my dragon?
Nope.
All right, well, I think we can cut the scene there, and go to one more scene, and then I think we'll just mosey along. I think it's probably the day has ended by the time you get there, so we'll kind of like do a mini sort of time skip. Zero G's doing things. Just so I want to hit those time passes moves, but before we do that, I want to know what Aaron has been up to, because last time it was mostly like flashbacks to other conversations. So I think this is like still the same day when Stalwart has mentioned that they're ready to come back in. I think that was the last thing we saw of Kasey last session. But what do you want to do? This is your scene. If you want to talk to any one of these three as well, that's fine. But like, what are you up to?
I think the thing on Kasey's mind is how she's going to deal with Stalwart's problem. And she really does not want to get Aegis involved, because the last thing that they want is to have their sibling join the Super Cops. So, and at the same time, she does not want to tell the others, because, I mean, that's Stalwart's business. It's their privacy. So if someone is going to tell that, it should be them. So she does not want to get into that. And there is one thing that it keeps coming back to that. It's Chestnut. And she starts to think, well, Stalwart did not come into details, but it's probably something either magical or dimensional, because otherwise, probably Kasey would have figured that out the first time they interacted with them, that there was something that was not right with them. If they could just hear the pain of machine parts or feel the pain of another human being.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever is going on with Chestnut, that's probably what Kasey is trying to look into.
Okay. What does that look like? Kasey looking into this Chestnut thing.
she gets a feeling that this is probably something that exists in two sites, either on Aegis database or on a library where people forgot to eliminate some old reports. Because she has no idea of how far this comes back, she starts going to a library to get some keywords to actually then ask her machine friends what to look for.
Okay, so I was gonna say, like, if you still had that people respect thing, you could have probably talked to one of them. But all right, library it is. I think this is gonna be like an assess, and then we can reframe those questions when we can. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I'm not very superior anymore. Let's see how that goes.
Oh yeah. Man, you're really mundane. You should be talking to these people and giving them advice and support.
Yeah, I only got a 5.
Oh. So I think you look up those keywords. Chestnut. I forgot what state we mentioned. I think Alabama. I think that's what I said.
Well, nothing's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin sounds more likely to have a town named Chestnut. All right. I'm gonna write down my notes so I don't forget. It's like I forget everything lately. Chestnut, Wisconsin. There we go. So you try to look up Chestnut, Wisconsin, and the thing with Prospect Academy's library is that like it has some specialist subjects because superheroes, you got to learn some stuff. But I think what you'll notice is that like there is like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy style, just a small paragraph of Chestnut. It's just like Chestnut, Wisconsin is a small town in Wisconsin known for its nearby peanut farms. That's it. You might as well have mostly harmless on it. And I think if you keep looking through, you'll see that like this isn't like the typical, a small town gets like a 2-sentence Wikipedia page entry. Like just because I want to mention it, this town south of where I live right now, this town called Bastard Town. Like, it only has like 2 sentences. No, but for Chestnut, it looks like things were redacted. And like they did quite a, not to say a sloppy job, but if anyone who came looking like you did, you'll know that, it looks like something's been covered up. But I think I don't want to hit you with a hard move, but like you kind of get hit by you hit a wall far more quickly than you expected. It's enough to like make you suspicious, but you won't get much other than that. Just that it's a big mystery that someone's trying to cover up. I think what you'll notice was that like, okay, here's another thing you'll probably notice. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm confusing the character you played during the Suits game. You wouldn't notice this. Sorry. But yeah, I think we'll probably get shots of like, Kasey doing the research in the library and trying to look up in the public information. I think you kind of realize you're gonna need to step out and find something else. Maybe talk to some people you probably don't want to talk to. And I think we're gonna close on a shot of like you in the library looking very frustrated, stymied once again. And I think you do that as you probably I think okay, here's a new thing. I think you do that and it's late in the library and you hear again the intercom tannoy, that doo 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 doo, and just a pre-recorded announcement from Diamond that's saying curfew begins in half an hour. I advise all students to return to their dorms as soon as possible. There better not be hijinks happening in Prospect Academy. And the intercom thing again, just to like remind you that like you're not in a good place right now, Kasey. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, let's market condition. We've not been marking conditions that much. Sure, mark hopeless. Why not? Ludo, thanks very much. Thanks for that tip. Okay, we've been here for like an hour. Let's take like a 6-minute break. Come back at 10 to, and then we'll do a bunch of time passes, and I'm gonna fling Princess Hollyhock into a class. See how that goes. Be back in 6. Oh yeah, David. I was gonna say, if you want, I can let you have that question you were supposed to have with that move.
Yeah, sure thing. I think I will go for the perhaps obvious one, given what our conversation was, and ask. Looking in the wrong thing. What does Silhouette want me to do?
Okay, wait for everyone to come back to answer that question. I think the answer, and just for everyone coming back, I'm letting David or Zero G get the question they're supposed to get, even on a miss. Because that's what the move does. They can get a question if they pierce the mask of a villain, you can ask an additional question, even a miss. And Silhouette is no hero, clearly. Well, what does? Let me look at. What do you want? What do they want Zero G to do? I think you've worked well enough with Silhouette to kind of know when they're being wishy-washy about something and is talking in elliptical circles, because that's how all my characters talk. They want you to become friends with Mary, getting close, and then they'll have other things for you to do.
Yeah, cool. That sounds good. Yeah, and I thought I mentioned that while I've got the moment. I decided to go with picking up drives because I like drives with my advance. So the ones I've picked for the moment are help a teammate when they need you most, get drunk or high with a teammate, reject someone who tells you shouldn't be here, and outperform an adult hero.
Oh man, is there like a superhero 420 click in this school? I don't know why my mind jumped to that when you said get drunk or get high with a teammate. Oh, they're probably worse teammates to get. Oh, it says teammates. It has to be one of you three or Mary. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So do a quick check-in. How are folks? Folks okay? Cool. Okay. So it's kind of like we'll skip around like a day or two, but I do want to paint the Prospect Academy a bit more. I'm gonna ask each of you for details. Basically, what signs in Prospect Academy show that the Silver Masquerade is imminent? And anyone? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
People are starting to buddy up and partner up and actually ask people to the dance. So you're starting to get people actually going around as couples rather than beforehand.
Oh my gosh. And I'm sure you four have also been asked at certain points. How has Princess Hollyhock been dealing with that?
Well, Princess Hollyhock, one of her powers is her stunning beauty.
Of course.
So she doesn't understand it, though. She really doesn't understand what's involved. So I think that she's agreed to go with about 3 different people to the dance.
Oh God. Oh, God. Okay. All right. This is the person who got like a bunch of people in detention cleaning up after a dragon fight get into singing and having fun. All right. Anyone else have any details on how this school is getting caught up in masquerade fever, so to speak?
Yeah, I think we see a lot of people practicing dances in the hallway or talking about dances or what do we dance to and what kind of music will there be played and will it be cool or probably not, but who knows, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's I don't know, there's quite a few ghost couples who kind of just flit in and out of the walls dancing, and there's go ahead.
Can I add to that?
Mm-hmm.
I think the student council is actually arranging dance lessons for the school in general. So we don't make a fool of us. So we don't make a fool of ourselves in the school while at the dance.
Yeah, I think Yeah, no, Diamond Dust is quite insistent on that. Like, no one is gonna make a fool of themselves in the dance that I'm arranging. And I think it's not mandatory, but it's the kind of thing where like if we had characters who were like less affected by public opinion, they probably would feel like there's pressure to go. But I don't. I think we got some stone cold, poker face. Well, okay, not okay. Some. I didn't say all. Some. Don't make that face at me, Gerwin. I said some. Some. All right. Any other details?
I guess building up on that pressure that the student council has, they are very obsessed with the image of the school. So they are very strict in informing, usually only lightly admitted regulation of the school. And the reason becomes obvious is that to make the dance a bigger event, Diamond Dust has got a few corporation sponsorships. So you basically see their logos and brands everywhere. On the training dummies, on the superhero cars, there's a lot of vending machines now. Even the new posters about the dance, half of it are just logos.
Yeah, I think the student council office is also selling like this is selling like if you don't have masks, we have for a $5 it's a mask, and then like in the inside there's like a Pepsi logo or something like that, or
Is it a mask? Is it a proper masquerade ball then?
yes, yes. Oh no, oh no. Zero G, do you have a detail of what's going to happen?
Yeah, I think on a sort of similar vein to the sort of people like coupling up and getting into like the pairing off and stuff for the dance. There's like an increase in like notes being passed and like. Yeah, people kind of arranging secret assignations and all this sort of thing in the kind of the run up to the dance.
God. Oh God. Young love. I'm sure Zero G's probably gotten a few notes. I think Screech probably passed you. No, Screech doesn't need to pass a note. You can just make words appear in from your face, and it's always a lot of like, man, Charles Dickens sucks. Am I right? Messages to you, the poor dear. All right, let's do a bit of time passing moves, and then we're gonna go to Princess Hollyhock's class, and then we'll see. And then I have a scene for Serenade, and then. But yeah, let's roll these moves first. Let's start with Kasey, with Errant. How's your Janus secret identity been doing? Clearly, all this change, all these vending machines, these changes, all this corporate stuff that weren't there because you were here last year. And Prospect Academy was just a nice, pokey, faux New England school. Not the nicest, but it was better than this. So you must be feeling the pressure, I guess.
Not really. I guess I'm getting I got a 10, so I guess I've been managing to handle my duties on the prospect projects, my tech support job, and I keep my popularity. So I guess that I've became kind of the voice of protest about this corporation stuff. So, during the night as Errant, replacing the posters with some that, are exactly the same, but instead the corporation logos are twisted into anti-capitalist message while preserving the look of the logos until you get close. And on all the advertisement stuff, it's actually links to pages in which they show the prices of the actions of these corporations. So she's managed to hold to her corner. Again, when she's Errant, everything goes great. It's when it's Kasey that.
If not for Errant, you wouldn't have a release. Did you roll? I was gonna ask. Was that
That was
the
a
roll?
10. That was a 10.
I figured as much. So, which of your obligations give you an opportunity or advantage? Just to be clear.
I will say popularity. It's the fitting one.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is Kasey the one being popular? Or is Errant the one being popular?
Ooh. Actually, I think it's kind of the both of them.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm going to say that there is someone that, because it's a masquerade ball, there is someone that wants to invite Aaron to the ball because they will just be able to mingle in. Ooh.
I have an idea, but I'll wait for that. There's a rumor going around that someone wants to invite Aaron, but if you want to know, there's a rumor move for you.
Oh boy, if at least someone was good mundane on this group.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that Serenade of Taurus is very good at reaching out to people. We saw that with Princess. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. So Aaron's keeping on top of their obligations. What about you, Zero G?
I'm sure this will go fine.
Yeah, you don't owe Mr. Kane much.
I mean, in fairness, that's only an 8, so it could be worse.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, on the 7 to 9, they're gonna call for a favor. I'll mention like when you help one of these villains with their problems, erase 2 obligations on them. So okay. So tell me more about Mr. Kane.
Yeah, so Mr. Kane is a mysterious figure, always dressed elegantly in a suit and obviously walks with a cane. He is an expert and trader in cosmic artifacts, so stuff that comes from alien races and the void of space and all that sort of thing. I think in the past I have helped him get his hands on various bits and pieces.
Yeah, so how does he contact you while you're in school?
I think it might actually be. I think he might actually send like an actual physical letter. That seems like his style.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. So there is usually like letter time for students who probably like live in Prospect Academy, but no one gets letters these days unless they're bills or packages. But yeah, I think one totally reaches you. And where are you when you get this mysterious letter?
I imagine it is like in sort of like, because I'm imagining that Zero G probably is staying in like dorms on the campus sort of thing. So I guess it's like down in like the common room of this of whichever dorm it is that he's in.
Yeah, I think when you walk in your desk, there's a very nice cream envelope with that seal and an address to to Zero G, because he's professional. I don't think he knows your real name, or if he does, he's keeping it professional. And the letter is there. It's written in it's nice. It's very ostentatious sort of script that kind of like shines off the page, and it says salutations to my colleague in the underworld. I've heard tales that you have gone over to the other side, so to speak. I do hope that such a move won't strain relations between ourselves. My the bounty of my friendship remains open to you even in these times. But I fear that I have a need of, well, a tip or two from one such as yourself, and I feel that you are one placed in the right location for this tip. Back in 1874, there was, and he launches into a story about how of this living library that apparently fell from the stars and started forming a house around it, or something like that. Or at least that was the rumor. That was a rumor that I tracked down. Although to my disappointment, I found that the rumor was much more fanciful than the truth. And he keeps going on and on about how he learned of this. And when you turn around the page, suddenly like a second page appears in your hands, and it'll just keep going until like 8 pages later, he finally gets to the point. He's looking for a book of fairy tales. Well, that's what it would look like. But apparently, according to his sources, according to some certain events in the school, it's not a book. It's not a book of fairy tales. It's a book from fairy tales. It's a book that apparently came from the realm of stories, and there are recent events in Prospect Academy that's led him to believe that that book is quite nearby. And he says, like, oh, he's not expecting for the book itself, just, a tip or two. If it's there, and, confirmation, if the book is there, just to make sure. And I'm sure, like, years of, well, not years, but a significant period of time in which we had both supported our endeavors. Not exactly a year, I don't know. That would, like, he's expecting to be a good friend about this, and it's not much. It's a tip. And I think he says, like, to respond, just write the letter and put it in the envelope, and he'll get and hope to hear from you soon.
Cool. Yeah, I think I will very carefully like fold the letter and the envelope back up again, and sort of take them back up to my room and sort of slide them into the bottom of one of my drawers.
Cool. All right. So next thing is class for Princess Hollyhock. I think so. You want to be a superhero?
I'm sure Stan Lee did a show about that.
Yeah, he probably did. It seems like something he would do. I think there's a superhero 101 class in this school, like for that you probably didn't go to because I don't know, you had other things to do, and probably like your government handlers were like, she doesn't seem the type. They don't seem the type.
I joined too late in the semester to actually go to it.
Yeah, but I think if you talk to Prism, who is, I keep using her because she's the most superheroic, honestly, of all the teachers here. If you talk to Prism about, because she's the guidance counselor, if you want to be a superhero, she would totally let you. I think you talk to actual Prism, as in Prism with all the 7 different versions, different emotions of her. No, the actual Prism. Yeah, I don't think you have to convince her that much. Oh.
Excuse me, Mrs. Prism.
Yeah. Just Prism's fine. Princess Hollyhock, isn't it?
Yes. Can I come in?
Sure. Of course.
I'll come in and pull up a chair.
Now, I hope you've been keeping yourself out of trouble, Princess. Especially after what happened last time.
What did they tell you? I haven't done anything.
No, I've heard nothing. At least nothing that I know of. They kind of like, they're wearing glasses. I should have mentioned she's wearing glasses, and she just looks over them at you.
No, I've been very good. I've been staying in my room and doing my homework, and I need some help.
By all means. Well, oh, sure, by all means. And I think she kind of like pulls. Okay, no. Here's what happens. I she splits off a version of her Moody Prism to go off to a file cabinet, start pulling up one of your, trying to find one of your files, and you can hear Moody Prism being like, I wonder if this one's any good. And I think just because Moody Prism is a split off prism in front of you, smiles a bit wider, and it's like,
oh, turn to page 8. That's where the best part is.
Moody Prism moves to raise their hand, and actual Prism's like, that's not what we're here for, Prism. And Moody Prism's like, fine, okay, all right. And she's grumbling underneath her breath, and actual Prism's like, okay, so what can I do for you? No, it's we're not here about Prism.
You were a hero before you came here, weren't you?
Moody Prism's like, still a hero. We're just busy doing this for some reason.
Oh, no. Teaching is the most heroic of professions, apart from being a hero, superhero.
I think actual Prism smiles like, yes, as I keep telling some people over there.
It's ultimately the same job, isn't it? You're saving people.
I think Moody Prism is like grumbling some. No, I'm not. Moody Prism is just going to keep rifling through the files. Actual Prism just kind of nods, says, "That's correct."
How did you get started? What made you a hero?
It's a long story, to be honest. Princess, it involved, well, frankly, it involved a lot of times where things happened where I thought I could have made things different, basically. Certain things where I wish I could have changed if I had the will.
I keep on being told not to do that. I have to ask permission first.
That's another lesson I learned after that. What I was saying is that wanting to have control over things, that's what made me want to be a hero. But there is a big difference about wanting to be a hero and actually being one. You have to understand, Princess.
What makes you a hero?
Well, it's a long subject, but I think if you want to know, you're in the right place. And I think she looks at Moody Prism, who finally pulls out the file. It's like, well, here you go. Are you going to send her off to that class? And actual Prism, instead of responding, just kind of like, and kind of like moves a finger, and like Moody Prism rolls their eyes, and they reform back into full Prism, and full Prism holding the file. And she looks through the file and says, your fire here tells me that you're not part of Superhero 101. It's a class we have there for those who are really interested in being superheroes.
But there's only one of me, not 101.
No. I think Prism gonna smiles. And
do I need to bring some friends?
No, you're fine now. 101, it's an academic term. Don't worry about it, Princess.
Okay. Well, what does it involve?
Well, I think she looks through. Well, it's basically a primer on what to expect when one wants to be a superhero. It's not taught by one of the in-house teachers. We have like a guest hero come in every year or so to teach that class. Last year we had, well, you might know them. Last year we had Golden Development teach that class, and actually it went so well that they've decided to stay on and teach for another year.
Do we get to go out on the beach with them?
Well, that's up to Golden Development. I'm sure whatever their lesson plan is. Well, if you're interested in taking that class, I think I can slot you in. It's a bit late. Well, it's not too late. But if you're interested, I'm sure I can talk to them and we can get you
Please.
situated.
Please. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, and I think they press some stuff on the computer, and I think just to extrapolate kind of like the scene, she'll give you like the a permission slip, and she says like class begins in like an hour. The first class. I mean, you don't have to go to the first class of the day, but class usually starts at this time, and she kind of makes changes to your schedule and whatnot.
But before I go, you didn't tell me the story. What made you want to be a hero?
I'm gonna ask you to roll to pierce the mask.
Yay, I get to roll with -1. That's not wrong at all. Oh, and I get an 8.
Hey, it's good. What's the question?
Let me just look up pierce the mask. How could I get your character to tell me about the formative time that encouraged her to go out and actually want to be a hero?
I think you're gonna have. I think what she says to you is that like that's a story. It's not really a story I tell people. I like to keep some things close to my chest. But thanks very much for asking. And I think what you kind of get, and I think you'll get this, it's just like you are gonna have to like tell her or prove to her that you wanting to be a hero isn't for like some ulterior motive. It is to actually properly like. I think she says it as well, that like the most important thing is that I want to be a hero to save people, to help people. And I think there's like a glitter into her eyes because Moody Prism is back with her, that like she's keeping something behind. And I think what you get is what you can sense is that you're gonna need to like prove to her that that's also what you want to do.
So that's what I need to do.
I think she raises an eyebrow and says, "Well, I think you need to go to class if you want to take the first class here."
Okay, yes, okay. And do you want to shift my labels at all? Because I'm taking that as gospel that I need to go out and save people.
Oh, sure. Yes, I think you. Oh man, I'm pushing all your labels to the extreme. So I think it's gonna be a savior up and a danger down.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and I think we're not gonna play out the class. I'm just gonna give you your assignment. I think you'll come in and because you're just gonna be we're a bit pressed for time, so you're just gonna get like a quick test. Golden Development. You come to Golden Development class, and I describe Golden Development as let me look up. They're wearing their gold and silver suit. For sure. They have a supersonic voice, so their voice is rich and confident, and whatnot. They project control as if like they're completely control of themselves and their abilities. And I think they treat you quite warmly, but they say like to prove that you're up for this. They're gonna give you like a special assignment. You're not gonna have to do what everyone's homework for Superhero 101 is gonna be, but they want to know from you. Let me look up the move. They want, I think, what they want to know specifically, and I think they ask some questions about where you are, where you came from, and you mentioned, Veil of Story Dreams or what, or yeah. And I think what they want to know is because I think this is what they say. Being a superhero is about being in touch with those we save, those we protect. It's not about punching dragons or climbing mountains. Not about It's not about the pleasure in succeeding a challenge. It's about helping people. It's about making lives better. So I want from you, Miss Hollyhock, is I want to learn from you exactly who it is you want to protect. And this is going to be a test of your mundane, and you're going to roll that at the end of the session.
Okay.
Actually, I do want to know what's Princess Hollyhock's reaction to being given that homework.
She's confused by it because the whole point of dreams is to make the world more bearable, to actually make life more worth living, to actually inspire people, to actually allow people the respite from all their harm, from all the bad things that go on in everyday life. So the entirety of the Veil of Story Dreams is a reflection of people's desire to do better, to be better, to escape from the drudgery and all the horribleness that's in the world. And I think she's going to write an opera.
Ooh. We'll see at the end of the session and see how well that goes. All right. Okay, we reached a point where it's basically like, oh, what scenes do you want to see? But I think Serenade and Princess Hollyhock want to talk to Zero G. So before we'll do that, we're gonna go to Aaron / Kasey. I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, unmute there, Sabine.
Sorry, I meant to mute my.
Oh, okay, cool. I want to go to Kasey first, and what do they want to do? Another regular day in good old Prospect Academy. Do you want homework as well? Because I can give you homework.
I went to check into the rumors and do more chestnut stuff.
Ooh, okay. So what does it look like when you put your ear out for school gossip? And I remember Kasey's quite popular these days, I guess. Because you just said it reflects Aaron and Kasey being quite popular because you succeeded that role. But yeah.
I think Kasey is basically running a shadow court in opposition to Diamond Dust. So, and why not? It's on one of the busted bathrooms, that is always busted for some reason. Definitely not because it's close to where the science people use it to make their weird space-time experiments, and now let's say that the plumbing does not work the same way. It's not subjected to the causality of space and time, so it's more often than not closed down. But also means that nobody's looking into that, and basically that's where Kasey holds court, in which she basically asks for people that that cannot get through the cliques or through the regime what they need, basically come to her so that she can connect her with the other people that could help them.
Can I ask, are the other 3 player characters invited into Discord?
I mean, they know for sure. This is definitely a voiceless thing.
Okay, cool. So which one of the 3? And I think probably, I don't think Zirji's immediately invited, but I think Screech mentions in one of her notes here, like, yeah, so Kasey's doing a very cool thing. And I know I shouldn't be saying this to most people, but you're cool. And you hit it off, 2 of you. So if you're interested, she's doing something cool in do you know that toilet that's weird? Yeah, the toilet that's weird. And totally, Serenade can probably bring I don't know. Serenade bring Princess Hollyhock along, because I do want to know if
For what exactly would I bring Princess Hollyhock along?
Oh, fair enough. If you don't want to bring her to this court,
I mean, I don't want to go to a court. That is a word that I associate with going to pay homage to royalty, and I do not if Kasey wants that, she can do that, but I will not pay homage to her. She
This
can
ca-
remember.
I don't know. I'm kind of imagining Kasey trying
Definitely, Kasey does not use that term.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, Kasey is the last person that will use that term. But I'm sure that the people on the school council, when they suspect this, they probably talk about the voiceless on that way, because they know that will be exactly the term that will upset Kasey.
The court of the voiceless.
I mean, if Kasey wants to hang out, I will come by and discuss stuff with her, sure. And I would bring Princess Hollyhock if I run across her, and anyone else I feel that might want to hang out with us. There's nobody else to hang out with.
It's our only safe place is the weird toilet.
Why would we meet in a toilet? That does not make any sense.
That's the point.
I will not go meet people in a toilet. I have a perfectly serviceable room with a toilet of its own, where you. Why? I do not understand why we should meet in a toilet. I will wait outside of the toilet.
Hollyhock will go along because Hollyhock's curious to see what's going on, and she has no idea. They have no idea of the wider thing, so meeting more people is good. But
yes, but not in a toilet. Can we meet anywhere else, Kasey? This does not make any sense to me.
I mean, look, people are afraid to come out whenever they don't want this stuff to come out to the ears of Diamond Dust.
But people will want to use the toilet without getting thrown into any kind of turmoil. And why are you afraid of Diamond Dust?
Why would I not be afraid of Diamond Dust?
Okay. Well,
look,
is this a unisex toilet?
Yes.
Good. I don't want to get into trouble.
Also, you know what? Why don't we go to Starbucks? We have not been there for a while.
Yes, let's go to Starbucks. That is a far better idea. There's coffee at Starbucks, and there's no coffee on the toilet, which is not a good point for the toilet.
We're going to start.
It's a coffee place. It's
Oh,
a coffee place.
It's not a spaceship.
It's not a space. It's a coffee place, though. It's better than a spaceship.
But I've seen Starbucks. They showed me that TV series. We're not going to the spaceship.
There are unicorn coffee lattes with sprinkles. You can have one.
No, don't eat unicorns. No.
Are you sure we should give them sugar?
I mean, it is their choice, isn't it?
Good point.
I need to change. And the fancy clothing that she wears, the big hair, the bushy tail, drops away. And she's standing there in a normal outfit, jeans. She looks just like a normal person.
Before we get to Starbucks, and we'll roll the rumor move. Actually, we'll probably roll that before we go to Starbucks. I think this meeting has now become hang out at Starbucks, but I think there are some people who probably go to like the toilet. I think there are probably people who do go to Kasey to talk about stuff. But before, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll this move, and then I was gonna suggest that Serenade and Princess go talk to Zero G before going to Starbucks, maybe, because they were gonna do that anyway before the break, and then we'll see where we go from there. Is that okay with folks? Cool. So Let's roll this rumor move.
So 9.
9. All right. So on a 7 to 9, on a hit, the GM will share the juiciest rumor bouncing around the school or the most relevant rumor regarding a person or topic of your choice. So what's the rumor? Or which one? And
I mean, it was about whoever has been trying to invite Aaron.
oh. All right. Here's the rumor that no one's dared. It's I think it's a rumor that's like, so the answer is like, it's some people like just kind of like have been whispering around, but because it's so ridiculous that people are kind of like just spreading up like wildfire. There's a rumor that the person who wants to ask Aaron out is Diamond Dust.
I think this is certainly something to talk about on Starbucks.
Good topics. There we go. All right. So, Princess Hollyhock and Serenade, you wanted to talk to Zero G?
Yeah, I think where are you, Zero G? When we come up to you with our weird questions.
I think Zero J is back in the library, actually, poking around the folklore section.
Excuse me, Zero G, can we talk to you?
Hey, Serenade, sure thing. What can I do for you?
You have grown up in this culture and you are familiar with its customs. Is that right?
More or less, yeah, more or less. I grew up on the West Coast, but I've been here a few years.
Okay. We had a question about being a superhero, I guess.
Please.
Well, I think you probably know more about that side of things than me, Serenade.
No, I do not. I have punched a few aliens. That is my claim to superhero fame. I was trained as an assassin before that.
Oh, go on. Surely you must have some stories to tell.
I don't know. I don't know what's to be said, really. I mean, that's, I guess, kind of why I'm here in the first place. But, you know, I guess mostly it's just about being the person that runs towards an explosion rather than away from it.
So, superheroes are thrill seekers?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty fair to say, I think.
I can do that.
But why do they run towards explosions? Is it just for the adventure and the fun and the daring heroics and to look really good doing it?
Yeah, definitely for some of them. I mean, obviously, like, people do it to like help folk out as well. But no, I mean, definitely some of them do it for the showboating and the the popularity.
But if you are just going there to determine if it's a danger to you, that would not be so heroic, right?
I guess not. No.
So what makes a hero? Is it saving people?
That's definitely a big part of it.
But so many of these heroes, they have all these things that they can do, yet they, how do I say this? What's the word? These people with all these suits of almost magical armor, all these technologies, and yet I'll point out the window. How come they don't have them? surely they can do so much more by spreading that knowledge, inspiring others.
You might be onto something there. I think at the end of the day, even the biggest, most powerful superheroes, they are, most of them are still just people underneath it all, and people aren't perfect.
Also, some of those powers we have, they can be pretty dangerous.
A car is dangerous.
And that's why you need to learn to control it.
Yes, but everyone learns to drive.
True. But there are still car accidents.
Oh, yes, but I've seen people with the belts. I've seen these giant clouds that burst, these giant mushrooms that burst up from the wheels. There are things that people can do to help that. Why? I want to be a hero. I want to inspire people. I want to make everyone's lives better. I just don't know how. And that I think that was towards Serenade.
Oh, boo! I'm looking at 0G. I have no idea how. I mean, I'm not even sure if I want. I will say that I'm not even sure if I truly want that. Actually, maybe I'm not a hero. I just want to figure out that thing in my body and to find out what we will be if we finally understand each other.
Yeah, I think like I said, I'm not the expert on this, kid, but you certainly seem to be asking the right sort of questions. Whether you'll find answers to them is anyone's guess, but
I think I pull a book at random off the shelf and open it up, and I'm flicking through it. It's one of these thin leather bound codices, and where I come from, we are never the heroes. Never the heroes. We are the dreams of people who want to be heroes. We are the supporting characters in a story. And I'll open the book and I'll flick it. Look, this was a dream that a young girl had back, I don't know how many years ago. But look, she is the hero. We were just there to support her. Is the hero the one that takes the lead, or is the hero the one that actually helps other people?
it's kind of a bit of both, I guess. Like, I think you talk to anyone out there and everyone's the hero of their own story, Everyone else is a supporting character. But when you're talking the superheroic kind of thing, that's a bit more concrete out there, I guess. It's about being the one who steps up to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, helping people, stopping the bad guys, all that kind of thing.
I'll snap the book closed and put it back on the shelf.
Well, it was easier when the bad guys were so clearly labeled.
Tell me about it.
Is that a figure of speech now?
We could cast a spell that puts a mark on their face. All the bad guys. I think there's a book around here for that. And I'll start going through.
How do we know who the bad guys are?
Oh, the spell will know that.
I don't trust your spell, Hollyhock. Am I a bad guy? I have done terrible things.
And I'm literally pulling a book off the shelf, and I go.
And fighting the suits, that doesn't erase that. What I've done will never erase that.
Doesn't it?
No.
Why?
Because those who I grew up with, they are still dead because of that.
But what about the people here?
It is not like, oh, I have now saved 5 people. I can now go and murder 5 people. That is not how it works. That can't be how it works.
It's not a scales.
No.
It's not a case of you murder so many people, you're a bad guy. You save so many people, you're a good guy.
No. I do not think so.
But I'll turn and look at Zero G. Are you a good guy?
I'm trying to be better, I guess.
So you can change.
I hope so. I think so.
And I turn and look at Serenade, and you can change. You have changed.
Yes, but
You're not what. Look at you. You're not what you were.
it's true. Still. I do not trust the spell to know when this change has run its course.
Then I won't cast it. And I put the book back.
Thank you.
You will. Because when the time comes, you will know the answer.
This is a roll. This
Yes.
is a comfort support.
Yes, it is.
I feel like there were multiple comfort supports happening in that scene. We'll stick to one in case things happen.
Okay, so who's rolling and who's... Is that me rolling?
Yes, yeah, I think we'll
Okay.
be rolling.
Okay, 1 second. Comfort and support is... Oh, plus mundane. That's not good. But I'm exposed to the fact that they can change themselves and they choose their own destiny. I don't. I play someone else's. So I'd like to roll with Freak if I can, please.
Ooh, yeah. Go ahead. I'll say yes to that.
And that'll be a 10.
Hell yeah! So you can you can't clear conditions, so probably a team to the pool.
Let me just have a look at comfort and support.
On a 10+, you can add 1 team to the pool or clear a condition yourself, but there's no condition.
I'll add a team to the pool and
yeah. So Serenade, on a hit you hear them. You can mark potential clear condition or shift labels if you open up to them. So it's always a choice.
I can shift my own labels.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that. I will totally shift my labels. I will shift my danger up because I've just been reminded of that I'm not really the good guy. Not really. I've thought about the other kids, so I think I will turn my superior down. I don't feel very superior here.
Cool. I think just to add one more thing, I think because for you, Zero G, that letter that you got, which went on for 8 pages, it did at some point describe what the book looked like. And I think you'll notice that Princess Hollyhock just pulled that book out. And it's clearly their book.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think I kind of want to cut to Kasey waiting in the Starbucks by themselves for a moment. And I think this Starbucks is totally the one we always go back to in Prospect City, the one where Enid works, and and Melkor, but Ferret's not here, so we can't bring that character in. Aw. Don't know where he's been. So I think Kasey, you're kind of waiting there for a while these three are having their emotional support, trying to support each other. And I think there's someone familiar you remember walks in through the door. Well, you knew her as Agent Fumero, I guess. And she kind of like walks in, buys a coffee and whatnot. And when she turns around, she sees you. And she says, Kasey, it's been a while.
It has it not?
Well, I should note for Gerwin, Agent Fumero is a character from we introduced back in January. Well, Louise introduced her. She's basically Amy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, just literally, like, her name is Melissa Fumero. That's the actress's name. She's been here since January. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So imagine Amy, but like 5,000% more tired because she'd had to deal with an alien in. Yeah. So imagine Amy, but like 5,000% more tired, and she had to deal with an alien invasion. Well, she worked for Aegis, I guess. So like Melissa's here holding her like single cup of black coffee, and it's like. Would you mind if I join you for a moment?
No, please. I was just setting a board game. I was waiting for some people. They probably got delayed for something. So, how has life post Ages been treating you?
I think she sits down and says, well, I'd say it's less stressful, but it's not really a life you just leave behind. You can't just say, I'm done with Aegis, move on with the rest of my life. Stuff like that, you can't just put away in a box, especially given what happened, which I'm not allowed to tell you. Which I'm technically not allowed to tell you, although I can't stop you from asking.
And Kasey just stretches, showing her Abolish Ages t-shirt.
She raises an eyebrow at that.
Well, whatever. Probably nothing good from that. I'm sure if it's important or if you need me, you will tell me. I'm more curious about how have you been helping people now that you are out? Because you're right. It's really hard to get out. I mean, I'm just trying to get an education to make something of myself. And even then, I cannot escape the grasp of Ages. I feel like I'm just on a factory line to become another super cop, even if I want nothing to do with them.
I think she like grit. It's one of those like bitter sort of smiles, and she says like, "It's been tough. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to say that I've gone straight into charity work or outreach stuff like that, but no, I've spent the last couple months just decompressing, I guess. To a bit of severance, I guess. One little bit they gave me after I told them where they could go, I guess. I'm sorry that's not a luxury that we could have given you. I guess.
I guess for ages, I'm always a mix between an asset and a danger.
And that's not your fault. But I think you know that. She takes a sip.
No, it's Aegis' fault. Honestly, I used to think that Aegis was a force of good, someone that kept us working together, someone that kept the powerful and those that would abuse the same power in check. No, I know better. Aegis is just the biggest tyrant in the block and just will use all of us on their hegemony over superpowered beings. And everything that was good about Aegis is standing right now in front of me.
I think she raises her eyebrow, but this time she looks less tired, and she says, "Well, that's very flattering of you to say. But you're not wrong. In fact, I mean, I did think Aegis was there for a reason. Protect us against big threats and all that. Even during, when the Tangi were here, when we had to send people like you to deal with that. Even then, back then, I would have told you of all the invisible things Aegis was doing to make sure this city didn't fall to crap. But no, you're right. It's just things happened recently. Let's just say, and she takes another drink.
Fumero, ma'am, may I ask you something about the Tenji?
Please call me Melissa. It's ma'am makes me feel, well, it probably makes me feel as old as I feel right now. But
the more I learn about the people that I used to hold respect over in my life, the more I suspect. And there is something that has been crawling at the back of my neck that I kind of need to clear. From where I stand, the way things happened during the invasion, the way my own mother started making deals with the Tenji, if things have continued, Aegis would have just surrendered Freak, right? They would have done it. They would have given them if that was what was required. That is the truth, isn't it? And I guess I'm trying to pierce the mask.
Hell yeah, you are. And I think you don't have influence over her. I think it was someone else who had got influence over her.
That's actually the reason why I went to set up this, because I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So, because that's the thing, because I'm moldable. So whenever I'm piercing the mask of someone whose respect I crave, I can always ask how called again influence over you.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is going to be one of the answers. Also, I got a 10.
Hell yeah. Hells to the yes. Okay. You got a lot of you got 4. Oh wait, no, you got wait. No. It's still 3. It's just that you could always ask that one specific question even on a miss, but you got a 10. So you still got 3.
That is going to be one of those. And I guess how could I get your character to confirm my suspicions about what Aegis was ready to do if we were not able to free Freak ourselves?
I think for that one, I think you're doing what I think you're meant to be doing, which is be straight up about it, be blunt about it. For those who don't know, and I think as Gerwin and David, Agent Fumero has spent the last month and a half after the suits thing, which for Gerwin's sake, the suits is basically, it turns out, Aegis, big parts of Aegis had been helping the slow invasion of these parasitical interdimensional aliens in exchange for power and all that. So Aegis has been compromised a long time ago, and Agent Fumero, or now Melissa, has basically spent the last couple months cleaning that up and has decided and quit after that. Basically, that's what the suits are. The Tangi are an invasion led by bird people. They had a machine that let them predict time and space, and they found out that one of the young mutants from Prospect City was going to cause some sort of calamity that would destroy all time and space. And basically what Kasey's asking is that would Aegis have given up that person who was one of the PCs? I think it was Alan's character. Would they have given up if they had known who they were looking for from the start? Because at the start, the Tangi didn't tell people. So, tough questions. No, it wasn't Ash again. It can't always be Ash. No, this was Freak. Poor Ash. Yeah. So, how can I get your character to do that? I think you just did it, but just to ask as bluntly and straightforward as possible. How could you gain influence over her? I think you're gonna. I don't know how you intuit this. So I think you get a sense that I think you get the sense that Melissa, this is kind of like one of her first times just being out in public, for sure. And I think when you tell her that when you talk about being in school and learning how to do right or whatnot, I think you can sense that there's a part of her that wants to find proof that you are doing well, that you're doing as you're doing. I think because to be honest, she hasn't seen you in a while, and she still remembers you from that time during the invasion when none of this abolish Aegis stuff was in the forefront of your mind. So I think she really wants to hear more about what you're doing. That's how you can get influence over her. You have one more question.
Yeah, before I follow up on that, I want to know what they are really planning. What exactly, have you really just been resting and doing charity? What is your real plan?
I think let's get you ask first. Let's get that out of the way, and then we'll answer your third question. Right, I think she kind of takes a long drink from her coffee, which is black. It's black. It's as black as how she's feeling these days. She puts it down and she says, after all that's happened, if I said no, they wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have the confidence in that answer. During that time, it did feel like we had to do whatever it takes to win during that conflict, even relying on teenagers like you. But giving up one of you to win that conflict, I couldn't dream of it. But I think there's enough in Aegis who could have. Oh yeah, they did totally rely on teenagers again. The director of Aegis gave a groveling apology to those teenagers, if I remember correctly. I think she nods at your shirt, and she says, "You might find that that's going to become more true sooner rather than you think."
Here's hoping to that. I don't blame you. I mean, I was just as blind to that. I was just as blind to that, even to the Dread Queen, even after leaving my homeland. Even that, it was the same logic, She did whatever she needed to protect our people. Aegis did whatever was needed to protect our people. But I saw what the consequences of this line of stuff led the Dread Queen. I saw what led to ages. And I realized something that why we have these means to help. It's not because we are super. It's because for one reason or another we ended up with invested with this power. And if we don't use this power, to alleviate the suffering, to fulfill the needs, to pump up the efforts and the dedication of those around us, the people that see us heroes, make us super. Honestly, it's not worth it. It's not worth it that if we do that. So I've been trying to gather a group. We call ourselves the voiceless. We hear to people that nobody else would listen, the people from prospect projects, the people that are in the danger of losing their scholarship because they don't dance the beat of ages or the beat of the authorities. And we try to see what they need, how they can do the things that they can help, to find their ways to act as superheroes. Because you can have all the powers, you can have defenses against an invasion, you can get whatever, but nothing else matters if you have still the people that you are supposed to protect living in squalor or being exploited or dying for preventable causes. You know, it's not only superheroics when we stop a building from collapsing and then we just stand idle as someone collapses that building on them and sends them to homelessness. No, we have to go all the way. If we just focus on the big thing and we justify the small crimes to stop the big thing, again, it's not worth it. We may very well not even try because there's nothing to save if we don't do that.
I think as I kind of like looks at you with like this sort of unreadable expression. This is kind of I guess this is a kind of a comfort. We will keep rolling this move all day today. This is a very feelsy sort of session. Give that a roll.
12.
Oh my gosh. I think she takes another like long sip, but she's kind of looking it over. And she kind of gives you a smile and she says, I had some lessons I thought I learned after, well, this thing that I'm not allowed to tell you about. But I don't think I need to tell you what those lessons are. You're way ahead of me now, Kasey. Way, way ahead. And I'm very glad that's the case. I think the only thing I can say is that, well, I believe you're on the right path. Aegis, and sometimes some heroes, they spend so much time up in the sky or in the shadows. We think, or they think, oh no, we think we know how to save the world. And because we had this power that we know better. Nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody alone does. So, well, I'm glad to see school's going well for you. Yeah, take influence over.
Good.
And I think your last question was, what do you think? What is she really planning? I think you fall into more idle chit chat, and I think what she says is just like, after the thing I'm not allowed to tell you about, which I'll probably tell you at some time, maybe when, I don't know, when it's legal enough, when it's legally allowed for you to drink or so, which is actually don't know when that's. No, she wouldn't. She doesn't know exactly. She's read your file. She's actually a bit ashamed. She knows exactly when you're legally allowed to drink. I think she says like she had a severe burnout after, well, basically the suits thing, and she said she decided to take some time out. Just well, it wasn't the fun kind of time out. It was a lot of staying indoors, and well, staying indoors would have been a severe waste of my time if I hadn't had some help. And she kind of like rather bashfully looks at the counter, and you see like there's this Korean lady kind of very surly I don't know how you can notice that she's making coffee in a rather surly manner. And Melissa kind of like, yeah, I've had some help with my roommate. She's kind of special. Bit of a blush on her. I think at that moment she kind of realizes she's drank the coffee she came here to get to go. And she kind of stands up. And I think this is kind of like when then do the three of you come to Kasey, or did you leave 0G behind in the library?
No, I think we invited him to come along.
Do you come
if
along?
He wants to.
Yeah, sure. I'll tag along.
Cool. Because coffee.
Cool. And I think Melissa kind of stands up and she kind of says like, wow. Well, I do admire everything you're doing right now, Kasey. One thing I learned from taking time off is that, well, you do need some time off every now and then. I hope there's something you're doing to like blow off some steam. I've had to tell several people this recently, and then be told that I'm not practicing as I preach.
At this, Kasey blushes because the thing that she has been doing to blow steam is becoming errant, and this is the kind of thing that she's not comfortable to telling to Melissa, especially if the others have just arrived.
Yeah, I think she'll take her leave. I don't think she notices. Well, she knows Serenade.
Yeah, I just wave at her because I know her and I think I meet her regularly anyway because I'm still visiting Enid. So this is more like a hey Melissa, and then I'll walk on.
Okay, yeah, cool. So I think
unless she wants to say something to me.
No, I think you do see her regularly enough to say a polite hello. I think she's emotionally a bit emotionally drained from that conversation, to be honest. Yeah, and I think she also gives a nod to Enid, who kind of like just again the surly Korean woman who I mentioned. She also gives a nod to Enid, who kind of does the whole sort of thing. Goes to the back. Oh yeah, so there's the four of you Starbucks. Kasey, you call this meeting.
So I set up the group's favorite board game, which I guess it's Serenade. What is the board game that we usually play the most on Starbucks?
I have no idea about board games. I'm not a board gamer. It will be something that will rely more on strategy than luck.
Go ahead.
Once Upon a Time.
Sure.
I do not know this game, but of course we will try.
Well, it's great, and I take out the deck of cards and I'll start dishing them out to people. Okay, so what we have is we have something that starts the adventure and somewhere where each of us will get a card and how we end it. What we have to do is we have to go through our decks telling a story. We have to tell.
I think he froze.
Oh no!
Damn!
Oh no!
You're back.
You're back.
You were so happy.
Have you guys ever played Once Upon a Time?
I haven't.
It's basically a storytelling game. So what you do is each person has an ending card, And what you do is you go through telling the story, and as you say the things in your hand, you get to put it down. But if you mention something else that's in someone else's hand, they get to put a card down and take over the story.
I imagine Serenade is terrible at this. They will just play to win.
So, and then there was a dragon, and
then there was a dragon, and then they put him in the box, and then the prince came and used the sword, and in the end, they all lived happily ever after. Did I win?
Yes. Yes, you did.
That is not a very interesting game.
Not how you play it. Does anyone want to drink? I'm going to the bar. I'm going to the counter. Does anyone want to drink?
I'm looking at Kasey. What did I do wrong now? I don't understand.
Don't worry.
Anyone?
Yeah, just give me just a simple espresso to me. It's going to be a long day tonight.
Okay. Can I have some money?
Sure. And she opens her wallet, and her mod collection escapes. And well, here, have some.
Oh, do you think they'll accept these? And I'll take out some gold coins.
No.
Don't worry. I'll pull out some cash and say, "Here, princess. This should cover it."
Oh, thank you. I'll pay you back. And I'll offer you some of the coins.
I'll grab one of the coins, kind of toss it up and down in my hand a couple of times ago. Sure, thanks, and slip it away into a pocket.
And I will head to the bar, conveniently noticing the help wanted sign actually up on the counter.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh gosh. Okay. That sounds like a tease for something. All right. Is there anything else you want to get from this Starbucks scene? I think if not, I think we're gonna wrap up with like a bunch of smaller scenes. But
I thought we wanted to talk to each other for a bit.
Yeah. Sure.
I think that was the intention of the scene.
Yeah.
Because we've been all doing our stuff, and now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I am thinking of. I do not like Diamond Dust, and I want to foil her plans by putting myself and a friend of mine into the whole masquerade thing by offering a different venue of music. But first, I have no idea about contemporary music that we should play, but maybe my friend will help there. And then I will have to set up a lot of equipment, and I'm not sure if I can do it alone.
I know this good band I could get.
Don't you? I think we talked about your friend Ash.
Yes.
Did you call them?
No, not yet, but I haven't reached her yet, but I think she might be in. If she is not, then we'll see.
I mean, I think it's an excellent idea.
So what sort of music are we talking about?
I have no idea.
How many people in the orchestra?
Well, me and Ash, I guess.
Orchestra? I thought it would be a band.
Well,
an orchestra is a big band.
Yes.
But I do not have an orchestra. I know a drummer, and I know myself.
I know someone who could lend us one.
Who?
Well, I know the orchestra back home.
Oh.
They owe me favors.
Oh, so you're gonna bring the devil and his fiddle?
Do you think he'd want to take part?
I mean, he probably is friends with Diamond Dust.
Oh. Do you want me to talk to them and see if they'll come and play?
Rather not. I think I want to meet Ash, so I'd rather if Serenade and Ash were the main center of the tension. I heard that the devil does not like to play second place to anyone. I mean, that's his whole gimmick.
Oh, sorry, who is this devil?
I don't know. You probably know a few of them, right?
Sorry, Serenade. What are you wanting to do? You want to get abandoned? You want to have?
No, I want to. First of all, they have a band, right? They do. We need to sabotage this, and afterwards, then we need to kind of put ourselves into this. This will involve a lot of electronic equipment, I imagine.
I can probably persuade the equipment to not work for them and work for you.
That sounds lovely.
I can ask a question. This is the Zero G. Your friend there, what Finch, who provides materials. What kind of materials are they?
Generalized stolen goods, I think.
I mean, if someone's setting up a party, an illicit, illegal party, instead of that,
yeah, I'm sure they could. I'm sure they could bring some stuff in. But yeah, I'll sort of lean forward and say, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that exactly fits in with the school rules, but I guess it could be kind of fun.
Yes, you are the person who maybe knows the most about the culture. So I imagine you know stuff about music. Maybe you can show me where I can find some.
Yeah, I can certainly. Well, I can play you some music if you want, but we can. I'm sure we can come up with something.
Nice, thank you.
Sorry, I still don't. So we were replacing the band.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's probably what you can do, Hollyhock. You can make sure that the other band does not appear to disrupt the events.
I'll look at Serenade. Look at Errant.
Maybe just delay them a bit.
Maybe you create an illusion of the gym and the party, and they think that they are performing there, and instead they are performing on the parking lot.
That thought amuses me.
And it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Do we know
It
which
feels like a deception, but
do you know which
Well,
band?
it's still gonna get paid.
Do we know which band is performing?
we can find out.
It's all on the posters, right?
Yes. Oh, I imagine they this is the player. They are bringing in an outside band.
Yeah, some corpus.
Yeah, some kind of plastic voice of America or whatever, guys.
Would that be the future voice of America?
Oh, perfect.
Honestly,
How about I just make it that the car had some trouble?
sure. I don't know. Accidents might happen.
You could turn it maybe into a tree, and they can drive it, but not with them inside of it.
Honestly, I envy you. I don't know how you can do it, honestly. This is so exhausting to deal with Diamond Dust. And when it's not exhausting, when I have actual energy to think about it, I'm just afraid. She gets under my skin.
She's not that bad.
Can I offer you some advice that Mary gave me when she got under my skin? Don't let her. She's a jerk.
She's not
That-
a dick.
Yes, she is. She
No.
might not have been for all her life, but she is now. She enjoys hurting people because it makes her feel like she's worth more than them.
Yeah, she loves to be in control. And the worst part is that I feel like I am just as powerless I ever been, and I'm afraid that she's right. You know, I'm not a superhero. I I am above average human. I have super intelligence, but you know what super intelligence is? Is basically being alienated from others and being aware of the things that you cannot change more. It's just it's nothing. It's not real. It's not a superpower. It's just anxiety and depression. That's who I am. I'm in many ways just a doll, playing superhero.
I know what that feels like.
And she's the real deal, or at least what people think of the real deal.
Yes, she's what people think of her.
And she makes me feel fake, like I'm always pretending, like I am trying to be something that I'm not. And it's right. I'm not a superhero. I am not my powers.
What are we actually talking about here? We're trying to show her up.
Yeah,
That was my idea. But if you feel that we should not,
How will that make her a better person?
well, it's humility is important part of learning, and she is so obsessed with maintaining control, finding out that it's not really that important. Once she loses it, that will be the first step. It takes a lot of courage to stand to authority, to show how their path of strength is weak, and the path of showing vulnerability to your friends is through stand. She cannot do that until we put her in that place.
I think I just want to show the whole school that she can't walk over everybody. And that she especially cannot walk over us. Over me, okay, this is pretty selfish. As I said, I'm not exactly the greatest superhero, and I am selfish, but I don't want her to walk over me because she walks over everybody, and somebody has to show people that she can't, right? She should not. She thinks she knows what's best for everybody, and I grew up with people like that, and they never do.
But how does this make her better?
It doesn't. But it may give other people hope. I'm sorry, but
Then doesn't that make us the bad guys?
from her point of view, probably does.
I want to hear from the one person on this table. Well, I say one person, but like there's actually a fair amount of people on this table who turned away from bad things, but the one who's done it recently, I guess. Actually, what do you feel about Diamond Dust, GOG, if you want mind me asking?
I don't think he's got any particular opinions on her. I don't think he's interacted with her at all.
Yeah,
as
that's
of yet.
That election did pass you over.
Yeah.
So do you have a dog in this conversation that's happening?
So yeah, I think. Yeah, Zero J just kind of leans forward and says, I think what Serenade said is the crux of this. Will this make Diamond Dust a better person? Probably not. Maybe it will. It's never easy to predict those sort of things. But I think it's right. Serenade, what you said, this is for you. And if it makes you feel better and no one gets really hurt, is there really anything so wrong with that?
As I said, I don't want her to walk over me or others. Anybody else, really. And she thinks she can. It's been proven that she can, really.
I'm supporting you on this, Serenade. I'm happy that that you have found something so simple but so important to you. I think it's important if you believe really that is best for you to stand for that. And I'll be there whatever way I can.
The truth is that this is the only thing I can do against her. I mean, I can do more. I can take her out. I can take her out. But that is not who I want to be.
I admire that you are trying to search for another way.
Hollyhock will look down at her lap and she's playing with her hands and I don't want to do this.
Then I'd sit it out then, kid.
No, I don't want to do this. And she'll turn to Serenade. Ask me to do this.
No, I will not ask you to do this. I will try to convince you to do this. But if you understand that you don't want to hurt her, that you want to have your friend of old back, but maybe at a point where she is not on top of the world, it's easier for you to reach her. Because she thinks who she is now is the best thing she can be. And I don't think that's true. And neither do you.
And she'll reach out slowly into the middle of the table and have her hand out.
Okay, I will give you my hand.
No, and she'll look to the others.
And Kasey extends her hand.
Zero G will put his hand in the middle as well.
Zero G has his own problems that the other three don't know of.
We'll have to ask.
We all have our own. I think that is a fine ending for the scene with the four hands.
Was there anything that Princess Hollyhock wanted to say?
No, sorry.
I think we accidentally stepped on.
The last thing she says is, "You only had to ask."
Aww.
Okay. She still has a crush on Serenade, and I don't think I remember that.
Oh God! Oh yeah, of course. Fucking crush. Okay, all right. So we've got a lot of admin to go through before we actually end this session. Homework. Actually, no. Before we do that, what's the last kind of bit we want to see from each character when we close off this session? Like, what's like a last like coda thing? I have some prepared for some folks. When I say some, I mean just Serenade, basically. But yeah, what's kind of like the last shot we see for today for each character? I'm curious to see what Zero G does because he's got like 500 obligations to like at least 2 different supervillains.
Yeah, so I think the last we see of Zero G is he is back in his room, and he's got the the letter from Mr. Kane in front of him, and he's kind of playing about with a pen in his hand, sort of spinning it over and over again. And then finally he takes the lid off, and we sort of see him begin to write, Mr. Kane, I think I've got a lead for you.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. All right. Anyone else? If not, I have some ideas.
I think after we are done enjoying ourselves and everyone is retiring for their dorms, I think Kasey asks Hollyhock if they want to help her to put the board games in place, and as that is happening, Kasey leans towards her and towards them and says, "You know what Serenade did for you? That is, I have no idea when what I do or what others do is right or wrong. I don't think on those terms. But I know only one thing, that you only can know how much your own choices take away the choice of others. And Serenade did everything to not deny your own choice. I hope that you think on that when you see others and how their actions impact the choice of others."
Cool. Just add an addendum for Kasey. I think, yeah, when I think I forgot how to phrase this, but I think when you get back there to your dorms, you get so I'm trying to figure out how to frame this, but I think, okay, all right, where do you meet Stalwart? Where do we find Stalwart?
I guess on the rooftop.
Yeah, I think when you kind of like meet up with them, then you're errant now, done with this school bullshit for the moment, and you're back as errant. I think Stalwart kind of like just looks at you, and they're putting up a big front, but obviously you know who they are, and they just ask, "What do you want to do?"
I think we are done hiding out. I think we shall not hide who we are. I think I found someone that can help us.
Cool. Yeah, we'll cut away from there. Serenade, Princess.
I think I'll. If Sabine's okay, I'll leave it for last, given that you have a coda that you want to do with her. I think Hollyhock goes back to the coffee shop afterwards, and goes up to the counter, looks at the sign, help wanted sign. "Hi, I'm Holly. I understand you're looking for people."
Yeah, this surly Korean woman looks at you, and she looks at you, and then she peers at you and say, "Yes, people, right? You're people, right?"
No, I look totally normal at the moment.
Okay. Oh, the thing is,
yeah,
this character, she's been here before. She's a mind reader, so so she what she's doing, and you kind of feel this. Well, she's looking at you, she's like, "Wait, what the fuck? Who is this?" But I think she looks at you and she says, like, "Okay, all right, okay, yeah, okay, you're people, okay." I think she's having an internal panic attack because I think she kind of like figure out what you are, and then she kind of like. I think she has what looks like a conversation with herself. Like, okay, is this a good idea, bad idea? And then she sighs and says, "Yes, we're looking for people."
Great. When can I start?
You busy?
Yes, but nothing that can't be put aside for now.
Do you know what coffee is? I'll teach you. Come on, come here. And she just kind of waves you impatiently to go to the coffee machine. And I think she, in her mind, is like, okay, I gotta have to keep an eye on this person.
Homework.
Oh yes, homework. All right, let's roll that.
No, this is actually part of it. I need to actually have a connection with the people. So
yes.
she's gone and got a part-time job because she has no money. People don't accept magical gold coins that turn to pebbles the next morning.
Nice. All right, we'll actually roll the actual thing after this last coda. Serenade, what's do you have an idea of?
Yeah, I think Serenade doesn't even go home, go back to the dormitory because they just want to stay and wait until Enid's shift is over so they can, I don't know, chill, talk, play, or just get her home safe.
I think
Stuff
on the
like
way. Yeah, on the way towards Enid's place, you see actually once you come out of the Starbucks, you see a person wearing like a very big hoodie or a hood up, trying to look very inconspicuous with failing because they're standing right underneath a street light. And I think they kind of give you a look as if to say like, go on. And you can see that it's Clyde, it's Heron for the one you beat up.
I didn't beat him up.
You
I
kind
dropped him down. He wasn't even injured, really.
Okay. I think he beckons at you to like come talk to him.
And I will turn to Enid and say, hey, this dude wants to talk to me. He throws knives at me. What do you think I should do?
I think Enid's kind of like, who looks a bit worn out because she had to train in someone new.
Mm-hmm.
Says like, well, you're you, right? You can take him, right?
Of course I can take him. That's not the question. But I just... okay, this was a long day. I'm sorry. Can I still come by later, or do you want to sleep? You look like you should sleep.
Nah, come by.
Okay.
It's fine.
Fine.
It's fine. You're always welcome. Come on. Come on, Serenade.
Cool. Yeah, so I go over to this guy and say, what, no knives today?
No, we've learned you've expressly told us that they were an inefficient means of communication.
Who would have thought that?
In my defense, you're not the most approachable person in the world.
How am I not approachable?
You're the Serenade of Thorns, right?
Yes, but people talk to me all the time. I have never attacked somebody just for talking to me.
Okay, all right. Our leader had to be sure that you are the Serenade of Thorns, and I think he kind of like tries to dress himself up more. He tries to like stand up a bit more and like be more official, and our leader is sufficiently placated. They want to speak to you.
Well, they know where I live. They have my phone number.
In person, face to face.
Yes, well, they know where I live.
Well,
they have my phone number. They can call me and set up a date.
I think is trying to be mystical facade kind of breaks a bit, and it's like, hold on a minute. And he turns around, gets on his phone. Yeah. No. They want to. Okay. They at the is your dorm room okay?
Not right now. No, I'm not there.
Okay. Not right now. No. It's a what? Okay, what date's good? Okay.
Tomorrow after gym class, they can come by.
tomorrow after gym. Tomorrow. Okay, cool. And they turn around again, stiff, and be like, "You will meet with Osprey at shit. What was the time again? After gym.
After gym class.
After gym. Osprey will meet with you at your dorm room. Is that sufficient?
That is acceptable.
Good. It's
Tell him to bring his own cookies. I don't have many of these.
it's them.
Okay. Tell them to bring their own cookies. I do not have many of those.
I'm sure they will. And they can turn to go around and then turn back at you and says, on another matter, do you have a date for the dance?
I do not dance.
But you're so graceful and swift.
And deadly. And then I turn around and leave him standing there.
Oh, poor thing.
Sorry.
Okay, no, don't be sorry. All right, let's do admin very quickly to end the session. Princess Hollyhock, it was basically roll to shut down. Princess Hollyhock, I need you to roll your mundane, see how well you did with your test.
A 1.
What? Take potential. On the miss, you blew it hard, and the faculty and the people who care about you will come down on you. Prepare yourself. I'll save that for when we next see you.
Can I just say the fiction there? I forgot to submit the test. I was too busy actually working the job.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Repercussions for that. Save that for when we next see you. I guess I didn't come down on 0G for failing last week as well, but I'll do that. I'll make a note of that to come down on you the next session. Okay, end of session moves. We'll start with you, Serenade.
Here.
Yeah, sorry, you're starting first. Yeah.
I'm starting first. So yeah, I think I grew closer to the team because of the scene at the end. And I think it will have to go to Princess Hollyhock because, I interacted with her the most. And I'm really trying to I don't know, to help her, to be nice to her, because I think she represents something I need. So, yeah.
Cool.
Take an influence over me. I don't know if you already have that. You do
Nope.
not. You have now.
The only person I have influence over is Diamond Dust.
You have influence over me now as well.
Woohoo.
2 very pale people.
You can almost say I have a type.
Watch out! You don't get turned into a dragon next time, Serenade. Okay, up next, Kasey. How are you feeling?
I think I got closer to the team, and I think probably to Princess Hollyhock because she made an effort to reach out for her and to transmit something to her. So you're gonna get influence on Kasey. So on the opposite of a very pale person.
Okay.
Wow! Suddenly, Princess Hollyhock's getting all the influence. Don't forget to mark potential or clear condition. The 2 of you. All right. Speaking of the aforementioned princess,
I think I grew closer to the team. In this instance, I think it's Serenade of Thorns, which she already has influence over me. So I think you get to shift my labels.
Let me shift your labels. Oh, wow. I think I want to shift your freak down. And I think I also want to shift your danger up. You should be aware of how dangerous you can be, I think.
Brilliant.
Nice. And 0G.
Yeah, I think it also probably closer to the team. It's probably either Serenade or Princess Hollyhock, given that I believe Serenade already has influence over me. I'll say I'll give that influence to Hollyhock.
God, Princess there.
I'm
Breaking
suddenly the team mascot.
so somehow, but I think it made sense. Also, I'll ask you this, Sergi. Would you consider giving Princess Hollyhock advice in the library as helping a teammate when they most need you?
Could be, yeah. I think that would fit.
Yeah,
I was wondering about that myself. I wasn't,
I'll give it to you. I'd give it to you.
Cool.
Just in the interest of crossing off those drives, but yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. All right. I said the word "all right" 5 times in a row. All right. I'm turning to Matthew McConaughey. All right. Okay, I'm gonna end this broadcast. Thanks very much again to these players for just being just full of heart, so full of heart. Tonight was just full of emotions. I'm gonna end this broadcast, but again, I also put down the broadcast. These players are great. Check out masks, all the other stuff. I'm gonna end the broadcast. All right.
Bye, broadcast.
Bye.